Canada, daily life. Life in Canada differs very little from that in Western countries and the United States. In fact, visitors see the few differences between Canadian and American ways of life, except for French-speaking parts of the country, especially Quebec. But in general, living standards and habits are very similar to high Western standards. One of the most obvious features is that make Canada different from its southern neighbor. French are the country's two official languages. However, the French spoken in Canada is not, for the most part, the language of France. In Quebec, where the majority of the population is of French descent, the local language is known as Quebecois. Most Quebecers, however, will understand formal French. Like many of the people in the United States, most Canadians trace their ancestry to Europeans. A large part of the people is of British descent, and another large group is descended from early French settlers. After World War II, there was a tremendous amount of immigrants from Europe, and the last several decades has also seen many people from Asia, Eastern Europe, and other parts of the world moving to Canada. All these immigrants to Canada brought their national customs and cultural traditions to the country, and added them to those of the first settlers. Thus, cultural diversity is one of the main features of Canada. Arguably, the country's most distinctive art is that of the Inuit of the North, particularly their stone and bone sculptures and carvings. Native American artists also excel at printmaking, basketry, and carving. Canada is well known for its natural environment and dozens of national parks. Canadians, as well as thousands of visitors, have lots of opportunities for different outdoor activities, like wildlife walks, swimming, caving, camping, canoeing, hot spring soaking, mountain climbing, and many others. Canada is home of some of the world's greatest. You've probably heard about Canada's famous hockey players and talented ice skaters. Many areas in Canada, especially the central provinces, have a lot of farms. The farms and country towns are those of the nation. These farms are usually very big, with average sizes no more than 1,000 acres. Farming requires a lot of knowledge, experience, and hard work, and Canadian farmers can provide it all. Canada's wheat and other grain are very well known in many countries of the world. Like Americans, many Canadians live in big cities. From Vancouver in the west and Montreal in the east, millions of Canadians work and live in population centers, most of which lie within a few hundred kilometers of Canada's southern border with the USA. Many Canadians who live in cities find high-skilled jobs in office buildings. The quality of life in Canadian cities is very high. Because of Canada's strong economic and cultural ties to America, some of Canada's high-skilled workforce has found jobs in the United States. Canada's cities feature some of the country's grandest parties and festivals. One of Canada's most famous festivals, the Montreal Jazz Festival and the Ottawa International Jazz Festival, brings some of the world's most famous musicians to perform for Canadian crowds. Dancing, music, ice sculptures, parades, and a snow slide make a visit to Quebec City Winter Carnival a memorable experience. Canada's art, although small, enjoys a daily life quite different from their city-dwelling neighbors to the south. Some of Canada's native people, the Eskimos, still call the North home and make their living by hunting wild animals and traveling by kayak and dog sled. Many scientists from Canada, the United States, and other countries have scientific. In the last 50 years, the majority of Canadian life has moved from being rural and agriculture-based to urban and technology-based. Canada and its southern neighbor, the United States, have many similarities in their styles of living. Yet Canada retains a distinct and still developing individuality. Unique natural environment, cultural traditions, and hard work make Canada one of the nicest places to live. So now that we've done the reading, go ahead and complete the chapter check. You got this.